Hello there, and thanks for joining me once again at my tying bench. Now, on today's fly, I'm going to tie you a soft tackle pattern, and I simply call it the pheasant tail soft tackle. It's the tail on the body and the thorax is pretty much the same as the pheasant tail nymph, and we all know how popular that fly is. And this is just my take on a soft tackle version of the fly. And I thought I'd share this one with you, so I'll get this guy a device here this time and a fresh hook in and get started. I'm using a 3906B mustad wet fly nymph hook for the hook. It's a good heavy wire hook and a size, tying it in a size 10. That's about the largest I tie this fly. Go from a 10 down. Alright, and I'm using some brown danville 6/0 for the thread here. Alrighty, so we'll get started. We'll lay a thread base down here, right behind the eye, about a eye length or so. And we'll start that down the shank here until we get almost to the barb, and then I'll snip off the tag end. Alrighty, so our tail, as you would guess, would be some pheasant tail fibers. So I'm just going to select this, just a natural ring neck pheasant tail. It's not been dyed or anything, just a natural brown color. And I'll probably get 6 to 8 fibers for the tail here. Sometimes I don't count, I just pull off what I think will look good, because I don't think the trout count either. So, alrighty, and I don't always worry about the tips being even on these tails. So we'll tie that in about a little more than the hook gap for length. So we'll come up and tie that on top with a pinch wrap, just like so. Then we'll lift up on it and wrap back to just about above the barb there. And there's our tail. Then I'll wrap forward, snip that off to where we want our body to end there. Then I'm just simply gonna secure those ends down with some good snug wraps moving forward. Alrighty, and the rib is simply some small UTC copper wire, and small there. And I got a piece ready, and I want to tie that in so it goes down around the bottom. So I'll just tie that on the far side there, catch it in underneath, and wrap back. And want that to come right all the way back to where our tail was tied in there. And we'll wrap forward once again. Okay, and I'll stick that wire in the material clip out of the way. Okay. So there's our tail. Now for the body, I got clip out some more pheasant tail fibers here, and probably about 10 fibers or so. Just pull them off to the straight, like so. And I just grab those off, give them a little pull, and I'm going to snip the tips off, and we'll tie those in, wrap back a ways. And I'll catch those in underneath the shank once again. Let your thread carry those underneath. And we'll come back to right in front of the tail once again. Then wrap forward to where we want to tie off the body. Alrighty. So now we're just going to begin to wrap. Okay, get those first ones going nice and straight there. Alright, and one little trick you can do is each wrap around, just take your other finger and press against it like that to hold them in place, especially if they start to get short on you going up, as they usually do. Just helps to get them where you want them in place till you tie off. And when I come up around this time, I'll tie those off, just catch them in with one good wrap. Keep your thread tension. You always want to keep good thread tension as you're tying. That's one key to a durable fly. Alright, we'll snip off those excess fibers there nice and close. Alright, and we'll tie those down. Alrighty, so next we'll take our wire and we're going to counterwrap that for some more durability on the fly. And we get 4 or 5 turns going up, evenly spaced turns. Alright, Get your wire in. A couple wraps. Keep thread tension as I move my thread around. And tie back. Now I'm just going to give that a little helicopter off. Just like so. Alrighty. So next is a little thorax, a peacock herl. So I'm going to grab, I usually use about 4 strands on size 10. Thought I had some ready here, but I'll just pull some out of the package. Just bear with me. I get about 4 strands here. There's 3, and I'll grab one more. Okay. Now I'm going to cut the brittle tips off of these guys. And I'll catch those in on my side this time here, right on the side of the shank. Just like so. A few wraps, then I'm going to make a loop. As you know, I always make a peacock rope when I use peacock herl. Can be used in a lot of different applications when tying flies with peacock. Now we'll take the thread, put the herl in between the loop, grab my hackle pliers here, give that a good little spin to start it up. Alright, so now I'm just going to use my rotary here. Whoops, I had one herl break on me, and that happens once in a while, folks, so we'll just catch that back in with the thread. Sometimes if you don't cut the tips back far enough, you'll still have that brittle stuff and it'll break, but I managed to catch that back in, so there's no worries. Okay, now we're just going to wrap a little thorax on the fly here, just like so. I'll get one more wrap around, and we'll tie that off. Okay, just like so there. Alright, and we'll fold back on that. Snip off the excess. Alright, there's our little peacock herl thorax. Now all we got left to do now is tie in our partridge hackle. So I have a partridge hackle here, and it's a darker shade of partridge. You could use the light as too if you wish, but on this pattern I like the dark color. And if you don't have partridge, I've used grouse before, and you can even use pheasant body feather, but I managed to get a hold of some good partridge feathers, so I'm going to use these. So we'll tie that in by the tip here. Fold that tip back like we always do. And I'll reach in if I can and get a hold of that. Give it a little pull to get it out of there. Okay, get that little pull. Now we're going to wrap back just a little ways farther than forward, and I'll rest my thread right behind the eye. I got one straight fiber there. There we go. Okay. So now I'll grab my little plunger style pliers here to wrap that hackle. And you usually only get 2 to 3 wraps on these little feathers. So I'll just try to stroke those back to get them going where I want them first. So we just want to be real careful with these because they are quite fragile feathers, as you know probably, if you tied with these before. So just bring that up and back around. Just keep our fibers spread back. Stroke them back. Then I'll come up and tie off the stem there. Get a couple wraps. I'm going to thread around and pull it, keep it nice and tight. Alright. Now I have a couple more securing wraps there. Check and see if my fibers are spread all around the hook. That looks pretty good. So then I'll just take my 2 fingers here and stroke everything back, hold it back, and we're going to wrap back on that little stem, catch that in good. Just like so. Then I'll reach in. Sometimes if it's long enough you can just pull it out, but if you can't, I just grab it with my scissors here and get a hold of that and snip it out. Alrighty, I just about got it. There we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to make a few wraps back. Just to sweep those fibers back a little bit more there. Alrighty, so there we have it. There's another size 10 pheasant tail soft hackle. Not a hard pattern to tie at all. And I really enjoy swinging soft hackles when I'm fishing, for trout fishing. I have a lot of luck doing that, so if you fish soft tackles and you haven't tied this one, definitely give it a go. So now we'll just throw in a whip finish here. Just going to flatten my thread a little bit here just to give it a little smoother looking head on it. You don't have to do that, it's just more for me. And then we'll do a whip finish. We'll probably get 5 or 6 turns on them here. Alright, I don't know what's going on here, but that didn't work out so good. I'm just going to do another whip finish. It slipped on me there. That's fine. There we go. No worries, folks. Now we'll snip that off nice and close. And there we have it. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of UV Solar Res bone dry there this time and just put a quick coat on that thread head there. Just to make that good and rock solid. Just don't want to get any on your hackle fibers there if you can help it. Alright, that's that. So I'll give that a quick cure with my light here. Cure that up real quick. Alrighty. So there we go. Another size 10 pheasant soft tackle. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial this time around, and if you have these materials, definitely tie some of these and add them to your fly box. They're well worth having in the box for sure. And like I was saying, it's a very effective fly. I've had good success with it, and I tie it down in smaller sizes as well, down to a 16 even. So, see if I can get a little close up here for you. There we go. So I want to thank you all for watching once again, and appreciate it. And if it's the first time viewing my flies and you would like to see more flies in the future, just hit the good old subscribe button there and throw in a like too if you wish. And if you have any comments, put them down below, because I'll answer each and every one that I read. I'll answer you back. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. So until next time, folks, happy tying out there. We'll see y'all again soon, and so long for now.